Greetings, I'm Chappers.
And I'm the captain.
And we're here in sunny Brighton with these amazing new pedals from Vox.
We certainly are. I've come to Chappers' house for a couple of days just to check out some of the latest and greatest gear. And what we've got for you in this video is going to be a review of the 4 drive pedals that have just come out from the new Vox Tone Garage
Should
series.
we turn down the GTA volume in the background?
I think we should.
Okay.
It's a giveaway.
Hold it there.
Actually, that's all we do. Whilst Rob's gone, I'm going to tell you about these. So, Vox, as you may know, for those of you that have followed Vox's sort of foray into the world of guitar effects over the years and guitar amplifiers, have dabbled with this idea of putting preamp tubes into multi-effects units and guitar amp preamps and now stomp pedals for a while. Now, in the early days of doing this, and I don't think Vox were the only one to blame, I have to be honest with you, it was largely just an obsession to stick tubes in anything, because as long as they lit up, guitar players would go, "Oh, it's got tubes in it, it must be good."
Yeah, that's really, really true.
And a lot of product that had tubes in it, you know, the rumours were that you could actually take the tubes out and the things would still work and sound exactly the same, and they really were in there as a marketing gimmick. So, and part of the reason for that is that a preamp tube in a guitar amplifier, like this Marshall behind me or any of these amplifiers here, runs with an incredibly high voltage through it. Somewhere between sort of 250 and 400 volts go through your typical preamp tube on a guitar amplifier, and that's what gives the sound that we all kind of want. So of course, you know, running a dribbling little voltage through a pedal is rather pointless. So the new Tone Garage range from Vox claim that despite the fact that we're only using a 9-volt supply or batteries, believe it or not, you can even use batteries in here. It's quite a few, as you can see in there. You need 4, what are they, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's like the
double
kind
A
of
batteries.
the way you put batteries in a radio or something, isn't it?
Yeah, they will achieve about a 200 volt signal through the tube in the pedal. So at least we're driving it, you know, along the lines of as hard as you might do if it was in a guitar amplifier. So that's a plus. So we should get some tones. Do I like the look?
They look absolutely rubbish. I'm just being honest. I don't normally say that, but they look rubbish.
They don't look.
They look like a Bandai robot.
They look a bit Transformerish, don't we? I think what they've tried to do is, you know, make them stand out, make them look a bit oversized. I suppose they've got to be a reasonable size just to get the tube and the batteries in there. But I'm not.
The thing is, they look
blown away by the look. But that's subjective.
Well, but the other thing is they're big, but then they're really light, which means that they're probably not made of like really strong metals.
So I mean, obviously they could well redeem themselves in a minute by sounding great, but just visually, it doesn't look like a pro pedal to me. It looks a bit like a gimmick pedal. But you know, let's see. Just being honest and
Captain,
you know,
that's very negative from you. Normally you'd be like, let's get into the
well,
review.
they might sound great, you know, and I'm always conscious of the fact that all the visual side of it's entirely subjective. There might be people watching this video who think they look absolutely awesome.
That's true. If you do think they're awesome, please comment in the comment section below and tell us your thoughts.
As you can see on close-up cam here, the tube will light up, and I think each pedal kind of lights up a different colour, so it's some sort of background LED rather than the tube itself, but it is running. There on the back of the pedal is a standby and an on switch, I guess obviously to enable the tube to sort of warm up before you start engaging it. And then across the top of the controls, they are all pretty much the same, so they've all got a volume, a bass, treble, and a gain control, and then a dip switch that will do something different on each one.
I think we should prop this up on top of this one so that
easier to
it's
see.
a better angle for the viewer.
Oh, look out. Optimus Prime just fell over.
That's better, now they can see it.
So now you can see it.
So this is Bumblebee.
So this is the first one we're going to try is the flat 4 boost. Now, to stick up for this, in some of the videos that I've done this last couple of days, if I've wanted to use a sort of a driven sound on the Marshall and then kick in a solo, I have actually been using this pedal kind of off camera. The dip switch in the middle of this one decides whether or not you want an additional mid boost as well as the overall boost that the pedal's providing. So we're going to use this on a mildly driven tone.
OD1 cream?
Like this one. engage the pedal and fiddle with the knobs whilst Rob plays, you can kind of hear what it...
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't come off the bridge pickup. I was just all bridging. Let me just do a bit of...
I noticed that the mid boost when I was playing this earlier on is quite subtle. Do you want, whilst you're playing, just
stay on neck and you do a bit of that mid...
Pretty subtle, isn't it? That?
Yeah, but it's nice though. I like this pedal. I think the sound's great. Looks ridiculous.
No, there's really it has redeemed itself. I'll put it on a clean channel, and you can see what a boost will do on a clean channel. But it's more for doing what we just did with the drive channel. So as you can see, it doesn't do a great deal on a clean channel. Really, really ideal for, if you've got an amplifier where the gain channel just hasn't got enough for a good lead solo or a fat, rich kind of tone. That's what you want this pedal for. So that's okay. It has. I think it's fair to sort of say it has redeemed itself. So that's the Vox Tone Garage. Now the Straight 6 is a conventional drive pedal with a fair amount of chug in it. So I'll just pop all this stuff in and I'll think of something to tell you whilst we're waiting for the tube to warm up. Okay, so the Straight 6, this one's lit up green, and the little dip switch on this one is a brightness switch. So same, I think what we'll do though now is we'll just stay on the clean channel. So this is what it sounds like clean.
Okay, I have a question after this clean sample.
Go on then.
Why is there no sound is my question. How long do we need to leave it to warm up? Does it make a difference?
Honestly, I haven't in my own head yet worked out why there's a standby switch on the back of the pedal, because my sort of gut feeling is that you plug it in and you just want it to work, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure why there would be a switch on the back that sort of means it doesn't work when you switch it on.
That's great.
But the guys from Vox, if you're watching this, I'm sure it's got something to do with tubes, and you'll have to tell me. Although you say that, though, there's a standby switch on the pedal that doesn't have a tube in it, so it's got to have a reason. I don't know. So let's just do some knob. This.
It's a little bit weaselly.
It's
a bit Ron.
Let me just try and find a tone though. So if you just. just some classic. It's all right. I don't know. I think the problem is that if it didn't have a valve in it, and it was just a drive pedal, I'd probably be sitting there going, "That sounds fine. There's nothing wrong with that."
I think I'd still meh it, because what I think is it takes away from the amp.
Well, I think because it's got a tube in it, I'm expecting it to sort of do something that pedals that you try that don't have tubes in it can't do.
Yeah.
But it's sort of like.
I feel it's taking away from a good tone and slightly thinning it. Yeah, but just my personal aural opinion.
Well, let's try. So the V8 is the highest gain one. It has a kind of a red backlit tube in it.
Okay.
I just tried to think of something nice to say about the look and failed.
Well, don't worry, because that's
so. But it has blue knobs that match the blue V8 writing here.
Good. So let's play it.
Okay. It's a.
I really like it.
Really?
Yeah, I think it sounds really good.
Cool.
I'll be interested to hear how it sounds. I think it's going to change when you hear it through the cans, but...
Let me do some chug, because the dip switch on this is a mid shift, so it'll probably be easy. Do you know what? I'm beginning to come up with an opinion on these. And that's if they weren't trying so hard to look like some sort of American hot-rodded muscle car with the tube sticking out the top of it. I think, and they would just, here's a pedal with some sounds in it. I think I'd kind of like them more. I'd just kind of, because I would have just done a review then based on what I heard.
Yeah.
And gone, yeah, they sound fine.
You know what?
But
yeah,
I'm
you're
doing
right.
a review on what I'm seeing, and I don't like what I see, so it's
That's the thing, because if you think about the brand of Vox, and you think about visuals and the visual signature of Vox, it's nothing to do with flashy, modern, bright colours. No, it's to do with kind of old, vintage-looking, beaten up. These should be relict, dirty little pedals, and I'd be all up to that visually, but there's a sort of disparity, dichotomy.
Yes, I agree.
What's the word?
That's the second time in 2 days you've used the word dichotomy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
You've been reading the dictionary
It's completely the wrong word.
Is that what it is? It's a story, but it does explain what everything means.
But that sounds really good. Let me try one more riff.
You missed my gag.
It was just... Oh... Yeah, that's nice.
Okay.
Because it's got a little bit of chunk. like that.
Cool. Okay, well, we'll soon change that because the last pedal we're going to try is the fuzz pedal. And fuzz, as we all know, is Marmite, isn't it? Some people like fuzz, other people don't. And I've just got the main
we're missing a valve in this one.
Yes, that's because there is no valve in this. So it's the same casing as the other pedals, but there's no valve in it.
So they've just used the same case.
Yeah, different colour. Could you
And there's a
pass me
hole
the main
for
sleeve?
where... Well, I don't know if I want to, you know. So there's a hole for where the valve should be.
Yes.
I can't reach the cable.
Try harder.
Oh, I can't.
Mind this yellow pedal in your face.
Almost... I can't.
Oh, now everything's moved, which means all the camera will be blurry.
Oh.
Have you got it or what?
Yes.
Well done.
Okay. So there's a hole for the valve.
Well, I guess typically a fuzz tone is not a valve tone. It's a very transistory kind of tone. So it's probably appropriate to not use a valve. Let's just see what it does. There's the controls on here are obviously, so it's an octave fuzz. So we've had some fun with octave fuzzes in the past.
Do you think we should use single coils rather than humbuckers for the fuzz?
Let's try it, see what happens.
Okay.
Oh look, it does light up red
I
again.
am skeptical. I love it. Not that one, put it back on the Kenny Wayne Shepherd.
I should explain what we're doing here. We've obviously got the original the signal with the drive on it, and then we've got an octave above and an octave below, and this dip switch here allows you to decide whether you want all those tones to come through or just one of them. And then we can adjust the volume and the tone of those different kind of octave type effects as well. So what's the first one over here?
It is this.
That's the sub-octave.
It's not for rhythm,
sort
is
of
it?
tone. No, it won't work for rhythm. Then over the other side is the octave above tone. So here's without. And if I put the dip switch in the middle, you get everything. So if you like the sound of an entire generation of pygmies all being killed in some tragic, lethal sort of fire...
I'm not up for pygmy immolation, personally. Not a Jimmy pedal if you set it that way.
I thought
if you
it
set
was
it in
gonna
Kenny
be.
Wayne Shepherd mode, it is.
Okay, what, like that?
That's the... Yeah, that's a lot more. like it because it's got, you know, some interesting lead tones. It's got the kind of Kenny Wayne, Jimmy thing on the high octave. On the low octave, doesn't track. It's a bit farty. You can't play rhythm with it. You're better off with the Roland Cube 80 XL. But if you like the high octave thing, and if this is affordable...
Pretty affordable, yeah.
Then it's pretty good. It's not as good as the Jimmy Octave Fuzz that I got.
Well, good for you. All right. Well, look. Let's try and vote. Do you know what the cool thing about this video has been is the way that different pedals obviously appeal to different people, and how Rob's enjoying some that I'm not, and vice versa, which is kind of cool. So, you know, always bear that in mind. You know, whenever you're watching any YouTube,
we just
kind of
give
demo.
our opinions, don't we?
So let's start with the yellow one.
Marks out of 10 from me. I'm going to give it 5.
Okay. Well, I quite liked that one, so I'm going to give that one 6.5.
Okay. Next.
The green one. The green machine, the straight 6.
I felt that it took away from the amplifier. I don't think it added anything. I'm going to give it 4.3.
Okay. And I didn't particularly enjoy listening to that either, so I'm going to give that a 5. The Mean Machine Black V8, the Chunkmeister.
It's the Vox's answer to the Boss Metal Zone, which is a better pedal. I'm gonna give this, in my opinion, I'm gonna give this depending on the price. How much is this?
If it has a tube in it, these pedals are $129. If it doesn't have a tube in it, they're $109.
130 quid for this.
Yeah.
This is a 6.
Okay. I liked the... Yeah, I'll give the black one 5.5. And finally, the orange fuzz trike fang.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this because it's 100 and... How much?
109.
109. Yeah, that's a pretty good price for a fuzz octave.
It's cheaper than the Jimmy octave.
Better than getting a Captain Coconut, which don't exist anymore, or a Fox Tone, or I don't know, something nice. If you need that tone, and I don't know, man. I mean, it's pretty good on the high octave. I'm gonna give it 6.8.
Okay, I'm gonna give it 2.5.
Really?
Well, I wouldn't use it. I don't know how you're supposed to judge a sound that you don't like.
That's the honest captain coming to you.
If you don't like the sound of it, then what are you supposed to say?
Sorry, Vox, 2.5.
But yeah, I suppose that's just because. But then, in fairness, I think it takes a very special guitar player with a very special tone to use an octave fuzz. I mean, can you imagine listening to an album where every single solo the guy kicked in an octave fuzz?
I love it. Yeah, absolutely can.
Love that,
but it's a very unforgiving effect to use. If you pick something slightly wrong, it phases out.
Yeah.
You have to be clean technique to use it.
Now there is coming later this year, which I would like to hear. A pedal that they're doing same series as this, so with a tube, or with the tube housing in it, called the Double Decker Delay. So I am interested to hear that. That's not a drive pedal, obviously. That's a delay pedal. So we will revisit this range.
So my SLR turned itself off because we ran out of time, and the SLR didn't really particularly like the Vox range of pedals, which is a shame because I thought they were amazing. Super lens reflecting device.
I know it's a bit of jargon that we all use every day, but I just wasn't sure what it stood for. You can tell us what's that one just done?
I just turned it off.
So we're only using this one.
Yeah, we're only using that one. We don't need the close-up anymore. I've been Rob.
And I've been the captain.
Bye!